Hello, welcome back to the Weekend Gardener. How quickly a week goes. It's Friday afternoon, back down at the plot today. And today the plan is to get the shed, get the filler fitted. There's lots of knots that are falling out of the wood. So I've got some expandable wood filler to go into those, seal any small gaps. And I've also made a start at moving the compost bins from the old plot over onto the new plot. I think it's a better location for them. It's going to be easier to use. So I've taken the old compost bins apart last night and started to move them over, so I just need to create a little bit of space for them and get them put in. Some of the wood as well that's been used to build them has started to rot, so I'm going to replace any rotten wood, see if I can get the bays built, and if I get enough time I might be able to get the roof on, but probably not. That'll be a job for tomorrow. So I'm just going to get everything together and we can get going. Well, after a lot of huffing and puffing and splinters and cut fingers and all sorts of stuff, we've got the basic outer frame up. Got the two end panels. There are dividers that are going to go in the middle, but I need to level the ground off, and also want to extend it over to there. I've only put compost in there. I'm just going to put things like these bins and Daleks under there, so that's just going to be an open area if I can find enough material. I've got some extra roof sheets, but they're not going to be big enough, so I might just do it out of twin wall polycarbonate because I've got plenty. And the roof, I'm not going to use that felt because it just warps and distorts, so I'm going to put polycarbonate on the roof. I'm just going to raise it up so that I can stand up in there. So it's going to be roughly 2 metres at the front, 1.8 metres at the back. Run that all the way across, get some guttering, and then I should be able to collect plenty of water. But as of now, I'm quite happy with my progress. It's just popped down Saturday morning and I've put in a row of paving, block paving bricks to define the edge of the plot, and I'm going to lift the compost bin to sit on top of it. And then I've got this sheet of steel that I'm going to use to back the rest of the compost area, and I can create 2 extra bays. I was originally just going to put a brick where the bottom supports of the compost bin are, but I think it just looks better. It's a defined edge then. And then I can tidy all this area up, because this isn't actually my plot, it's my neighbour's plot. So yeah, I'm just going to get this lifted on as best I can. I was hoping there'd be someone around to help me, but there isn't at the moment. So it's just going to be a bit of a job handballing it. I think it'll look quite good. Yesterday afternoon I had a good go at it. So we've got the 3 bays there, and there's the extension. I'm going to tidy it up a little bit, put a bit of trim on it, and I've got the longer legs. You can just about see the green cord there. That's going to be the top. So I'm going to fit this plank on here at the front. I'm going to copy another one, make it identical for the back, and I've just got to work out the angle of the slope and then cut the bits of wood to extend the back posts up, and then I can start building the roof. I'm not going to get the roof done today, but if I can get the framework done, I'll be happy with that. I've got a tarpaulin I can just put over the top to keep everything dry. And I've got a couple of Daleks here. These are full of horse manure. There's a circus in town, and whenever they come to town they always drop all their manure off for us. So I'll probably be able to fill 3 of these bays at least with horse manure and then just leave it here all season to rot. And then I've got the 2 bays at the end. So I'm just going to get this second piece of wood cut and hold into place, and then let's see if we can look at putting the cross braces on. So lovely Sunday evening. I've just popped down. I couldn't record anything this afternoon because the plot neighbour was here with his 2 children, and obviously I don't want to be filming while there's children around, but you can see we've got all the bays in and we've made a start on framing it in. One of the posts is a little bit out somehow, so I might have to trim the metalwork to get that down to fit. But other than that, it's looking pretty much how I want it. And these are the 2 Daleks that I've filled up on a Friday evening. I've just dropped the thermometer on the top of one of them to see what we're at. And it's at 30 degrees. So who knows how warm it is deep inside. There's all sorts of fungus and things growing in there. And that was filled to the top. I couldn't get any more in physically. I had to force the lid down. So tomorrow evening I'm just going to top them both up. And I might even make a start on filling up this first bay. While we're here, might as well just have a quick look at the tomatoes. They're all looking really nice. I've just given them a feed. Once the flowers start appearing, every Sunday evening I come down and give all the tomatoes, peppers and chilies a feed of tomato food. And then tomorrow when I come down, I'm going to trim off the side shoots. But it's all looking pretty good. I did miss a chunk of today because we were up doing a community project at the entrance of the allotment. There's a lot of brambles. We like to keep them for the blackberries, but they were getting a little bit out of control, scratching people's cars as they came through the gate. So we'll have a little bit of a look up there as well, so you can see what we've been up to. So this is the car park for the site, and all the way along here, between 5 of us, we've cleared it. It was up to the top there. You couldn't even open the gates, it was that bad. You could get about halfway through, just about get a car through. But we've trimmed it all down. We've kept all the blackberries because people like to pick those. And this is a little pile of what we've removed. We've also found bits of pallets, bits of wood. But we know a guy that's got a wood chipper, so he's going to come and chip that down for us. And then here's a pile of horse manure, which hopefully I'll be taking a big chunk of tomorrow. Steaming away. We've also made a start on sorting out the communal orchard. I look after these trees. Don't tend to get a lot of fruit off them. Everyone beats me to them, but just give it all a bit of a rough trim down. Got about halfway, and then I just ran out of energy. But you can see how bad it is. There's a bench under there. You can't even see it. A step ladder. So it's a good 5 feet tall, if not more. So next week I'm going to come down and see if I can manage to finish it off. But you can certainly see the difference from the section we've done to what needs doing, and there's loads of fruit. I cut all these trees down and everyone was complaining that you've killed the trees, you'll never get any fruit off them. And a year later there's more fruit on them than I've ever seen, and it's all easily reachable. That's a Victoria plum, that needs doing again, but there's a couple of pear trees here. You can see there's absolutely loads of pears all over it. So we're looking good for fruit. Another pear tree here. I don't think there was anything on this last year. It was so covered in weeds it just didn't have a chance. But I cleared the whole of this wall last year, all the way along to the end. It's probably about 200 metres. I don't know what that is in feet, but it took a while. So now it's been taken down to the ground. It's going to be a little bit easier to maintain. It's quite nice with the sun coming through the trees. So that's all I've got time for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.